still crimes being perpetuated under the guise of philanthropy, right? Like,
yeah,
for example,
that's not the
Bill
point.
Gates introducing vaccinations into Africa.
So you want to debate about vaccines?
Debate what? What is it a debate?
Oh,
you already debated somebody on that. I don't agree with vaccinations.
So he won't get beat up. We're gonna stay off
that. Get beat up? No, you don't.
With all your literature,
let's not do that.
You get beat up.
Nah, I'm not gonna get beat up on that. Bro, you don't think I studied that? I just showed you I do help and all that. I don't think we can't get away with that. Yeah, and then I'm gonna give you the case studies, the clinical trials, and stuff we're talking about because I have that data. So we can get into it.
Let's get into it.
You want to get into that? Okay, hold on. Let him
go get the clinical study.
So you get it? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm off the top of my head.
So you want to? I can go off the top of my head too.
That's what I'm at. I don't have.
All right. So let's go.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
So let me start with this. What is your alternative
to what?
To stopping the wholesale spread of infectious diseases, if not vaccines? Let's start with that question. I want the fucking alternative.
Gotcha. So the alternative, and this is something that is common.
Mess it up.
Right? No, I'm not going to mess something up. The issue is a deficiency of nutrients. And that's always been the cause. So the reason why we talk about vaccinations, I was going to start to show you that.
First mistake.
That's not a first mistake. That's not a first mistake. Because the question is I'm going to ask you. You
can't ask me a question.
No. I'm just saying rhetorically. You would have to show me the statistical data from hospitals showcasing that the babies that are born are not deficient in regards to nutrients, basic nutrients that should be in the baby's body by means of their mother passing it on to them.
Nutrients don't have nothing to do with this conversation.
Nutrients don't have to do with vaccinations?
No, we're talking, listen, we're talking about, the question was, how do you stop the spread of diseases? Did I not say that?
So
what is your alternative?
The alternative is to reverse immune suppression and a lack of effective immune system. And I'll give you an example. For example, if you have, I'm going to bring something up. Let's say you have...
What about your immune system?
We're going to get into the immune system.
Your sperm.
So we're going to go to your leukocytes. No, we're not. And your lymph nodes.
Go ahead.
So look, let's deal with it. Mm-hmm. So the way vaccinations work is that you grab any kind of strain of bacteria or virus. And what you do is you multiply, you proliferate it, and you differentiate it over time. So that way that virus or that bacteria is no longer effective enough to infect the body and cause wholesale disease, right? So, but the danger that we talk about when it comes to vaccination is the adjuvant. So now, what I want to ask you is,
no,
see, look, you don't want me to ask him. All right, so look,
you got it. We're waiting for the alternative.
Okay, so here we go. So let's deal with it. So let's do it like this. So the purpose of an adjuvant, if anybody's not familiar with that, is that because that virus or bacteria is not effective enough to cause a widespread immune response, the adjuvants is added so that way the body can immediately respond not only to the adjuvants that you're inoculating the person with, but also any other kind of viruses, bacteria, and or allergens that's in that person's body that will predispose them going forward. This is where you get type 1 hypersensitivity. So science, we're going to get into science. Let's deal with science.
No,
wait. Let me build. I'm going to show you.
Don't build the way.
Okay. So look, and I'm not.
Question.
So I gave you the question. I said nutrients.
Alternative.
So the immune system, and again, that means you're taking the allopathic route, which means you believe that human intervention is necessary because the human body itself cannot protect itself. Therefore, it needs inoculation.
Freeze.
When this is something that is recent, this is something that has been going on for thousands of years.
Hold on, freeze. Did not half of the Roman population get wiped out?
You talking about because of that's happened.
Pandemic.
But what does that mean?
Did not half of Europe get wiped out? Smallpox
because of the Black Plague.
Pandemic. Did not have the Egyptians get wiped out because of these things?
Those things happen.
So
why?
Hold on,
wait.
Hold on, this is easy. Go ahead. No, it's
not easy. It is.
He's claiming something that ain't nobody done.
You're gonna lose.
Hold on.
Watch this side. You're gonna lose.
No, listen.
I'm gonna let you.
What I'm setting up right here is this: that these ancient cultures weren't able to do that. As a matter of fact, a lot of these stories in the Bible are coming off of people getting wiped out by infectious diseases. They didn't know what the hell it was, so they was thinking, well, it was God gave us this plague, but it was really an infectious disease, and you know what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying is they couldn't do it, but as medical science got better, because it's not the fact that the body can't defend, it's that we have minds to help the body defend against these things. And it's called learning. It's called humans want to live. And so we want to live so much so that we're thinking and we're trying to stay ahead of diseases. And so we've came up with a method of giving people vaccines that will help us fight against infectious diseases to stop the spread of it. That's all the vaccine is. It ain't got nothing to do with your daggone immunity system is stronger, because you can't give me proof where wholesale humans, listen, without saturated foods, right? With what's the food everybody eat now? Canned foods. We call that what?
What you mean?
Canned foods. What is it? What we consider canned foods to be? They're not natural food. They're processed. Right? I'm saying, so we talking about civilizations didn't have no processed foods. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
Israelites didn't have processed food.
I mean, it was processed. Like if you look at.
No, I'm talking about the way they are now.
Not canned goods, no. But the concept was there when you salted items in order to preserve it.
So
it's still
right
there.
Okay.
That's what canned goods does.
That's
preserve food.
Fine, but that's natural. That's not. That's a good way to do things. So you would have to do it. No goddamn refrigerator and ice. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if those people, right, were still catching diseases, their immunity system seemed to be built up. You feel me? How about the Native Americans? The Native Americans were eating, they were agrarian cultures. They ate fruits, vegetables, nuts, and berries, and all that stuff that you find. Right. So I'm saying is, so what happened when the Europeans came over here with old world immunities? They got decimated. Literally. So you're going to sit here and tell me that, well, that was bad. If they had been inoculated with vaccine, listen, they wouldn't have got wiped out, because it wouldn't. Wait a minute. Any of y'all, hold on. How old are y'all brothers? How old are y'all?
20.
You ever had chicken pox?
No.
How about you?
No, I never had.
How about you?
I think so.
How old are you?
I've had it.
31.
My brother didn't get it, but I did get it.
28. I had chicken pox.
Okay. I'm saying my kids don't know what the fuck chicken pox is.
Why? Because they was inoculated?
Listen, your kids won't know. I'm saying that.
How did I get it?
I don't know.
I was inoculated. How did I get it? Measles, mumps, and rubella. How did I get it?
Wait, so we do understand that even though you still could get it. We're not saying you don't skew the facts. We understand this. That don't necessarily mean you won't get it.
Look,
just like, hold on, when you get a flu shot, right? We know that flu shots, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of different versions of the flu.
Of course.
Okay? So people say, well, I don't need to take a flu shot because you don't know which one it is. But the truth is, better to have coverage. A flu shot in general will give you enough coverage, so if you do catch flu, at least you won't just die. It'll give you enough coverage.
That's not true. And
that is
no,
true.
it's true to a certain extent. And the reason why I say is because if what he's saying is true, that means I should not find anybody who's died of an infectious disease that they've been vaccinated for.
No,
wait. That's the data. Wait, let me finish.
No one says
you
that.
talked. That's
Yeah,
the data. Wait, that's the data
Yeah.
I'm going to say. So let me ask you a question. If I was inoculated for mumps and I get mumps and die, explain that for us.
Well, what I'm saying is that your body actually didn't build up enough immunity to stop you from catching the mumps.
And what caused it not to build up that immunity?
Listen,
explain.
maybe you should explain that to us.
I got you.
Well, okay, but the fact that you're saying that still does not discount that on general, the most part, that being vaccinated actually has eradicated certain diseases like fucking polio.
Polio.
Wait a minute. So I'm just saying, so of course people that get vaccinated still die. You got people that got peanut aversions that fucking die when they get around peanuts. I don't see niggas talking about that. Right. But he gonna talk about vaccines.
But wait.
He ain't talking about eradicating peanuts.
No, but there's a way that
why don't you fight against peanuts?
No, but there's a way.
They kill more people than goddamn vaccines.
So wait, not allergies. So yes, okay, so
am I right or wrong?
To a certain degree, yes. So let me build with you, right? Because
No, just real quick, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with polio, the renaming of polio, the reclassification of the disease?
Correct. I read that article maybe.
That's what I heard about that. That's why I was asking you.
So look, and see, I missed that. I went over his head. But
No,
we're gonna
he didn't.
do it.
He
But
said
wait. Why did it reclassify it?
I don't know. Explain it. See,
Exactly.
wait, hold on. You know what's funny? Hold on, watch it. Hey, Divine,
get it.
Hey, Divine. You know what's funny? You know how we had the conversations, right? The truth is, I don't know everything.
Neither do I.
Right? So if I do get something wrong, or if I don't know it, I can say, I don't know.
Vice versa.
You know what I'm saying? So that means give me a chance to go look at it. Nigga, you got your whole fucking computer.
No,
I might not know it, right? But that
it.
does not discount
I agree.
the values of vaccines. So
look,
you always ask complicated questions, nigga. I might not know. So go ahead.
Got you. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you're absolutely wrong. I'm not putting no absolutes on the table.
Appreciate that.
What I'm saying is, to a certain degree, you're correct. But I'm trying to tell you why people die from infectious diseases.
Why
now, I happen to be familiar with how the immune system works when it comes to the pathogenesis of certain diseases, right? Now, you mentioned chickenpox. Are you aware that chickenpox is part of the herpes family?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're aware that over time, when you get older and your immune,
Shingles.
okay, so when you're immune suppressed, it starts to come out in the form of shingles.
When you have chicken pox.
Okay. Also,
Good.
HSV1 and HSV2 is also a herpes simplex virus.
Yes.
You're aware of that, right?
It's
And these are latent.
Genitals on your lips.
You're right. These are latent diseases, but there's also people that are asymptomatic
Okay.
when they're infected, which means they don't show any symptoms ever
Facts.
until the day they die, but they're infected, right?
Facts.
Now, here's the thing that I'm trying to explain to you. You have brought up ancient peoples. Do we have more information in regards to health today than they did back then?
I would think so.
Yes, based on what you just said, right?
Yeah, I would absolutely think so.
So here's the
I
thing.
think
What was the typical diet of an Egyptian?
They ate, well, you
Look
can look
at
at the walls.
the camera.
You can look at the walls.
Oh, yeah.
They
What
ate
was it?
birds. They ate
Look
fish.
at the camera, brother.
They ate pigs. Some of them ate pigs.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm saying
Now,
some of them ate pigs. Some of them ate birds.
So the question is this. This is why I bring this up. The typical diet, I'm going to share with you, the typical diet of an Egyptian who was not nobility, that was not dynastic, etc., was bread and beer. So when you go and look, and
medical beer?
So wait, no, they don't medical beer.
They have medical
Well,
beer.
they did. You're
Don't
right.
get me
No,
started.
you're right. But what I'm saying is,
It was medical
Hold
beer.
up. But here's
that.
the question: If I am a commoner and I'm eating a daily diet of bread and beer, how much of how effective? Watch.
I kind of feel like you're throwing a shot at the Egyptians.
No. It's not. No. It was the same thing with Israelites as well. So this is, yeah. So this is nothing. This is nothing.
Heavy bread.
No, but that was just during a particular
Just
festival,
so
right? But let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
If you're aware that you need 100% daily value percentage, and I'm gonna break it down for you. You need at least you need vitamins, minerals, you need amino acids, and you need your fatty acids, right?
No fishing communities on it now, bro.
Let me finish. Yes, there's fishing communities, but the thing is that
They had to give it all to the Pharaoh.
no, they didn't give it all to the Pharaoh. That's not
Come
true.
on, man.
But what I'm saying is the typical
Hey,
diet.
hey.
I'm gonna tell you where they get.
Where's that source?
I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna give you that source.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you three sites. Look, I'm gonna give you three sites. I'm gonna give you.
So they just look at all the vegetables and say, fuck it.
No.
They don't eat no vegetables.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Nothing green.
I'm gonna let him finish.
Man, they farmed. They had to give a portion of it to the government.
I'm gonna let him finish. Go ahead. All right. So
go ahead.
so next time we have a bill, because you're in Atlanta, and you want to go into the diet. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Switch up.
I have dietitian data.
You
That's
just said
stick on.
that.
Listen. I have dietitian data from
You believe that,
Egyptology. No, but I have the
I know you
sources.
got an
I'm not gonna
I
big
know
nothing
you got an
up. So what I'm saying is, I have
Now I got called up.
yeah, you go. Yeah. Wait, you took the camera off. You should have recorded
Hey, that's a
that.
form of privilege.
I got using my lifelines on that.
You should. Oh, for real?
I gotta use a lifeline, bro.
Don't do that. Nah. Because you see, I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to my computer, right? You good, Si?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Don't
So what I'm saying is,
So,
I love you, my brother, but this is not your subject matter, right?
What they ate?
No, not what they ate. What we're talking about, right?
What, the vaccine?
Well, no, and
I'm pretty good.
No, you are, but we're gonna deal with that. So look,
All right, go ahead.
so when you go back to diet, remember I told you, diet and a lack of nutrients is the source for an immune suppressed individual or an immune system that is not functioning properly.
Yes.
So when you don't get your proper vitamins,
Okay.
minerals, fatty acids, and amino acids,
More susceptible.
there is a breakdown and I'm talking about at least 21 different bodily processes that fail because it's not getting all the nutrients that it needs to perform. I give you an example of what I mean by that. When you look at cancer at the root being a nucleic, mutated nucleus, right? Nucleus that's mutated on the P53 gene and then the P22 gene that's affected. Did you know that a lot of those mutations occur because the nucleus itself does not have all the nutrients at an intracellular level, in order for it to perform these tasks? We have all that data. That's what I'm saying. I can share this stuff with you.
I know, but
So
there's
if
a lot of
cancer-
chemicals that were introduced to the
Well, exactly, because when it comes to cancer, you have cofactors. But getting back to infectious diseases, you've been to the CDC out here?
Yes. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I've been to CDC. They give you a little tour and everything like that.
Right.
I'll be asking a question. They said we gotta get back to you on that. I'm gonna film it next time I go out there so you can see.
We're gonna go together.
Let's go together. Let's go together, right?
You always doing
Let's do that.
I'm gonna
Let's do
talk
it.
to Egypt.
You know I
The guy
do. You know I do.
like God.
No, not David Rowe.
David Rowe,
Bruh,
50 Cent.
I've been to two conferences
What about vocab,
with
too?
Egyptology. Yeah, that's it. With Egyptologists, and I took pictures and spoke to a series of them, and I have all.
No.
that on my channel. You
The guy,
laughing.
David White. No, what's the white guy?
Oh, James White. James
You
White.
the James White. How you doing, sir? Go ahead to me. I was like,
Hold on,
I get what that nigga
He had to because he tried to say that we put a threat on his life.
Exactly.
He tried to say I put
you don't
a threat on his life,
understand
which I
diplomacy
didn't.
and
And then so look, so he had to come on some cool stuff.
Let's keep rocking.
Because he said, yo, that nigga really even want to kill me.
Yes,
He had the whole
exactly.
video about
Same thing with vocab alone, but vocab had a good deal with them, but he's saying Israelites be threatening his life.
Wait,
so how would I
all I want to say it? You're right. I'm just talking shit.
I know you are.
But yo, he beat the brakes off you.
No, you don't believe that because you didn't see my 4-hour discourse.
Not you. I'm talking about when he was with, who was that? He called.
Oh, recall. GOCC. He did.
But see, that shouldn't have happened, right?
What do you mean, dog?
Meaning that he should not have debated James White. That's what I'm saying. That shouldn't have happened.
I mean, what about, hold on. What about when he said the tetragrammaton is a deception? What about when he said that?
Well, that's because they
exactly. But he said the tetragrammaton. You know how historically crazy that's
not good. All right, so look, let's get back to vaccines. Wait, we're gonna get back to that, and we can transition into that. Now look, I know most of the Koch community is gonna rock with me on this one. You know that, right?
Is he gonna use some?
So look, let's go. No. I'm saying it.
Y'all really crazy. Act like your immune system stop all this. That ain't even.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. So you also have what's called passive inoculation. Have you done studies on what passive inoculation is in regard to the body? So, for example, people with eczema, it's believed that eczema, the condition of eczema, is actually a form of what's called passive inoculation. And the reason why is because eczema itself, and this is a theory that's presented in science, that eczema itself is leaky skin. And when your skin is leaky, a lot of different elements come into the body, and the immune system is forced to deal with it.
Okay.
And that means that once the immune system has been primed, it's called type 1 hypersensitivity, which means that all the mast cells that lodge itself in the skin cells, their job is that now that you have been given a attack plan, so that when you see this enemy, you know exactly what to do, right? So that's your mast cells that's lodged into your skin cells. So what I'm saying is this: passive inoculation was in certain environments, the body was not encountering enough bacteria in order for it to present itself from infectious diseases. So what the body has done was on the skin, from a skin level, it has made the skin leaky, so that way they can absorb more viruses, so that way they can have a more built up immune system to face these things when they encounter it. You don't have this a lot in sub-Saharan African communities, right? You will have traits that we see such as sickle cell. And sickle cell is a defense mechanism. It's the body adapting to defend itself against something. Same thing with passive inoculation. So the point I'm trying to make is that if the body has developed a way to do passive inoculation, that means that it did not require intravenous method in order for it to predispose itself to fight against the disease. You have your adaptive innate immune system. So wait, let me finish. Wait,
you have to get the disease first.
Yes, but you have to encounter it, right?
Right.
But listen to this.
That's what vaccines do exactly what you're talking about.
What it's doing is
passively introduces the virus to you. That's what it does.
Intravenous. So what I'm saying is,
am I wrong?
I feel you. Yes. No, you're not wrong.
You're right. The same thing nature does, bro.
But this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is this, right? And I can give a real life example of my own children, right? But I'm gonna keep them out of it because it may be subjective, right?
But what I'm saying is, never vaccinated them, right?
Nah. Of course, that's everybody can go.
Wait, I just want you to know, because that's what everybody said. Why kids are perfectly healthy? Because they have.
No, you're not gonna say. I didn't say that.
I'm just saying. No. But that doesn't have anything to do with the conversation.
It does.
No, it doesn't. Your kids do not have to be vaccinated to be healthy.
No.
Who said that?
So then here's the question.
No. Do you understand?
I agree.
Why am I saying that?
You're saying it because it's relative to what we're discussing. Because you're saying if children are vaccinated, it's no difference between a child that's vaccinated or not vaccinated in regards to their health, their overall health. They can still be healthy.
But the problem is when you come in contact with somebody,
and that's the point.
Has a disease,
and I'm about to make
end
that
up
point.
like the Native Americans
That's not
fucking
true.
eradicated.
That's not true.
Wait.
Hold on. Go ahead.
This is my checkmate moment, right?
All right, go ahead.
The Native Americans,
Mm-hmm.
right, with all the shit you just said,
Mm-hmm.
real complex, nicely put, right, they had New World immunity.
They didn't have optimal diets.
They
They didn't get 100% of their
Native
daily value
Americans
percentage of vitamins,
so
minerals,
hold on. Did you
fatty
not realize
acids,
what you're
and
doing?
amino acids.
Okay, what group does?
You said what group does?
Let me sit back. What culture get the right based off the mind?
So you're right. I'm not saying any collective culture does because it's
So
based
no
on
culture
scientific
has.
literacy. Let me finish. It's based on scientific literacy, like you just said. I'll give you an example. If I sit here and listen to me. If I eat a diet of hot dog and French fries every day, and but listen to what I'm saying. If I eat a diet of French fries and hot dogs every day, and I continuously go to the doctor to get an antimicrobial inoculation because I'm getting sick. And somebody else who knows that, hey, look, that person's immune system is suppressed because of the diet that they're eating is not supplying with the bone marrow the nutrients that it needs in order for it to send out now we're going to get to the proto-root of leukocytes. So that way it can properly form in your lymph nodes. A lot of white blood cells, when you don't get the nutrients, let me finish what I'm saying. When you don't get the nutrients that you need, your bone marrow becomes weak, and therefore you get malformed leukocytes. Now, what I'm saying is, I can back up everything that I'm saying to him right now. He's laughing.
No, I'm laughing because you're so confident.
What's the purpose of the thymus?
Listen, I do
No,
not
listen
know.
to us. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, let me
Explain it to me. Then I gotta look it up. He's gonna summarize it.
No, your phone is right there. Your phone is right there.
Shit.
So the thymus is important for the development and maturity of your white blood cells, such as, and also the lymph nodes as well. So the reason why I'm saying is because what?
Thymus.
THYMUS. So what I'm saying is, if your thymus is having an issue in helping the leukocytes to mature in order for them to properly do their job, if your lymph nodes,
okay, my fault. You know I always got a few with me.
I'm fucking surrounded right now. You see that? I am fucking surrounded right now. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I am surrounded.
So what I'm saying is, if the body lacks nutrients, then a lot of your white blood cells do not mature properly. And
what's the thymus? It does what now?
The thymus assists with the maturation of white blood cells, right? So it helps in the process of the maturation of the white blood cells.
System and endorphin system.
Keep going.
It's part of that.
Keep going. So the lymph nodes also assist with the development and maturity of white blood cells. So what I'm saying to him is that if there's a lack of essential nutrients that the body needs, it cannot perform certain immunological processes in order to protect the body. Now, when we're looking at white blood cells, there's a litany of different white blood cells that we're looking at because they're either attributed to your innate immune system or your adaptive immune system. And I'm about to answer this question. So one thing is cytokines. You have a various amount of cytokines. You have TNR, which is tumor necrosis factor, TNF, tumor necrosis factor, and IL, which is interleukins. All of these are cytokines and some of them chemokines that are responsible for the communication between white blood cells. When you're not getting enough proper nutrients, and we can go into the list of nutrients that the body needs, at least just the white blood cells, your immune system needs, in order for those chemokines and cytokines to work properly, when the body is invaded by a bacteria, things will start to break down. Your neutrophils and your macrophages is some of your first defense. Your mast cells are also part of your first defense. Your dendritic cells are part of your first defense. If your body's not getting nutrients it needs to keep these cells healthy and communicating between each other, you're going to get infected with a bacteria that normally doesn't kick. I'll give you an example. Staph infections in a hospital. Staph infections are extremely high in hospitals, right?
Yes.
Okay. Staph comes in various different flavors and varieties. One common staph is Staph aureus. You can look it up, AUERUS, if I'm not mistaken. And this particular one is a normal colonizer staph that lives on your skin. And a series of them do. They don't cause any issues with your body unless they come into the bloodstream, and then they start to get an opportunity to proliferate and destroy your body from the inside out. If your immune system is not prepared for this, for example, they'll tell you that if you drink wine, that is immune suppressive. If you drink wine, right? If you take drugs, that's immune suppressive, right? And if you eat foods that are not healthy for you every day, you are suppressing your immune system to be as efficient as it needs to be. Therefore, you're going to need inoculations to teach the body how to defend itself because the body's not going to have what it needs in order to do its job.
So with that statement, you just boomerang dagged yourself. So what he's basically saying is that if you do got a regular diet, then the vaccines will help you.
Yeah, and if you don't, then you should be fine, right? But that doesn't mean that just because somebody's vaccinated that they will have 100% immunity to the infectious disease that the vaccination was supposed to prevent.
Let me say this. For all that, I gotta bring you back.
So look, you already
let me finish.
You
did a long discourse.
You saying that?
Half the people listen to this shit need the medical dictionary.
That's fine.
Listen, simply put, goddamn it.
Wait. You say that's the Ahlazar squad when they be building? They be going in that group, they be putting deep stuff.
I'm like, slow that shit down so people know that we talking about sometimes.
And I did.
Right, no, you but you said all that to be future. First of all, you trying to, I only like the fact that the false notion that all of a sudden indigenous cultures didn't have the right diet. Yeah, let's fuck with that.
So tell me which one
they did. Let me finish. listen, you trying to say the Native Americans wasn't eating? The Hebrew Israelites wasn't. Nobody was eating fucking right.
They didn't have.
Okay, so basically, let me finish.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is, through the course of human history, we ain't never ate right until you popped up on the scene.
I never said that.
You did. You
No,
said no. You said
it's the same thing as the same thing as the course of human history. We never had inoculation, but yet people still survived and encountered bacteria and viruses.
No. You got some indigenous culture that did introduce less forms of
keep me locked in.
Right, they kind of was working on that.
We can still get
You know that.
No, I'm not.
That's how they give the yellow fever.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't die from it or had the little pus on, they would kind of give somebody else and they get a little sick. That was kind of how they started realizing that shit.
Like
right. So what I'm saying is the Native American population, right? It wasn't that they wasn't eating right. How do you know that all Native Americans wasn't eating right? That's crazy.
No, I didn't say all of them. You're saying that all of them was wiped out because of smallpox and other infectious
That's what
diseases.
happened.
But what I'm telling you is that
Wait, you had 25 minutes just now.
you kept
You had
filibustering.
a 25. I shut up because I was looking at this shit.
Look.
You said so much shit. I had to look at all of you.
You just looked at the thymus. That was it.
And they didn't say nothing about creating no white blood cells.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you rock and I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Yeah, pull that shit up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the point I'm
get into a conversation where Gorilla could go with you.
You gotta get in. Let me make this point.
Gorilla,
Hold on, record.
10 Commandments.
Right, hold on.
The same thing from the movie.
Charlie.
Look, for the
I was watching
the
that on
Native
Easter, man, and I said, yo, this is where the Hebrews get this stuff.
This movie, right?
And I seen the slave trade going on. I said,
you see it.
the pyramid. So hold on.
So once you finish, I'm gonna get you these MDs that's gonna tell you how the thymus works. And he put this on record, so you'll go back and research behind the research that he's saying that I'm not doing. Go ahead, I'm gonna let you build.
What I'm trying to say is that the Native American population, right? The Europeans didn't actually beat them fighting. That's a misnomer. It was the infectious diseases that the Europeans put, right, that decimated them. Why did it decimate the Native Americans? Because they had New World immunity. Anybody that studies genetics, right, we understand the Native American population, right? It was a bottleneck population or founding event. That means when, say, 4 of them break away from this room, right, and by themselves they reproduce again with their women and don't come back to the mother population. That's called a founding event.
I agree.
So there's a founding event, right?
Now we got a new tribe, right?
We got a new tribe now, and in the area of North America, right, they developed brand new haplogroups that's specific to that area that you don't find nowhere else in the world.
Yes, that's called genetic drift.
Right, so listen, genetic drift, right, get you on your A game.
You know I know that.
Beat you up.
Okay, no you did.
Let me finish. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, right, so that particular genetic population had never came in contact with the old world diseases, right? The Hittite text said the Egyptians was beaten with germ warfare. They gave them smallpox.
Wait, say that loud again. The Egyptians had smallpox?
Yes, it's
say that on camera.
No, it's
because I know that, but people need to understand
right,
that. They believe that they were super healthy.
No, the utopian.
No, that's the African American Egyptian shit. I already told you how to do that.
All right, go ahead.
Right, and so what I'm saying is that they had old world immunities, though, meaning Rome and Greece and them came in contact with the Egyptians, right? And they all went through their battle, and their immune system had built up immunities against these old world diseases. And it had nothing to do with they fucking died.
It didn't?
Listen, we are surrounded by pathogens and viruses that want to kill us. That's why I teach biological human evolution. So that the brothers, whether you're Israelite, whether you're African American, whether you what else they got?
What are the elbows? What about
whether you're a damn elbow, that's some funny shit. Whether you any of these things, right? When you have children and you send them to school, maybe they can get involved in the medical fields, right? And understand about medicine and realize that medicine has to be evolutionary minded.
So does all medicine have to be allopathic?
No. All medicine has to be
evolution, right? You agree?
I believe in theistic evolution. And I said there's a limit.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish.
I want you to deal with that.
We're gonna deal with that. Keep that on the note. We really get in there. Let me finish my point. The point I'm trying to make before I was really interrupted by something that he do it on cue. I'm saying, right, that they didn't have the pathogens to fight the old world immunities because they had new world immunity systems. It ain't had nothing to do with their diet. It's simply how much contact you have with these diseases. So they wasn't ready for the smallpox. and they got decimated the same way everybody else got decimated. Now you don't have Native American population down for smallpox because now their whole immunity system is used to it, and it's not that way no more. So the fact that you would say that all of a sudden no indigenous population had proper diets is very arrogant.
I'm saying to show me one that did, because they did have supplementation from
That's
herbs.
like saying
But let me
they
finish.
didn't.
No, they had supplementation from herbs. Like when somebody gets sick or has an ailment, you see this in ancient Kemet as well. They would get an herb, prescribe the herb, the person would take it and they would feel better. There was no way from the scientifically verify that, like we were talking about earlier, but they had that type of information.
When the scientific method comes,
they did, but they also said some things such as where the information comes from. That's another conversation altogether, right?
Well, from a deity,
exactly. So
that's not
that is in the Ebers Papyrus. We can pull it up right now if you want to read that.
No, but they
when
have.
there's a limitation, then they bring it to the deity level, and they said the insufficient deity.
But that's fine. But
that's fine. Okay.
The thing that makes that famous is that for the first time in human history,
that's been recorded.
That's been recorded.
Thank you.
That's what we fucking talk about when we say history.
Well, we have records of.
Records of that they have cures that have nothing to do with the deity and none of that.
No.
Outlined, let me finish. Outlined in the text. I'm not saying they do have, like you said, in certain portions of it, we'll talk about that, right, where the limitations was. And you want to talk about limitations, that's why we even introduced God, because of our limitations. Whenever man runs out of a certain amount of knowledge, right, and he's limited, he will introduce God to the situation.
So
you did that.
You
did that.
Well, right?
No, I'm not going to say it and bang on West African
Please say that. Look in the camera.
I'm not going to say it and bang on West African religions. But what I will say is this, that when any society of human beings reach their limitation in knowledge, right, they introduce the spiritual spookism. It's just part of who we are as human beings. Right, so all of a sudden, the God of the mountain. It's in the Bible, right?
The only one from Mount Paran, that what he's talking about?
You know what I'm saying? You know, Moses goes where? Where does he go? Go up on the mountain, Moses. No, wait, let me finish. Let me finish. That doesn't exclude the fucking Egyptians doing the same thing. That's not what I'm saying.
Give him the mic. I want to make sure everybody hears it.
But that's
so everybody on the points. I love this. This is great. Because this is real talk. Right? So I want the community don't want to deal with this. So look,
we don't deal with the romanticism like other people, and that's why it's always.
And that's why I want you to put it on record.
He always keeps it a buck.
The small don't do that neither. Nobody cares if Raw got us walking on damn way.
That can apply today. They use results that they probably didn't get at then, but now we have technology on the. So here's my question for you, Ankh.
No, ask him a question.
No, let him deal with you. He can do it with me too. I don't care. But he's not even paying attention, right? So the last thing I want to say on this is this: if the Native Americans had information we have today in regards to knowing the pathology of smallpox and how to boost their immune system in order to fight against it, do you believe that they still would have been genocide in where they were when they were unfamiliar with this belief they were introduced to?
No, I'm saying if they had vaccines, it wouldn't happen. And you know it.
And I'm saying, that they have proper knowledge of what we call nutrition. That you keep saying there's no evidence of that.
What group have the proper knowledge and never caused no disease, Divine? I didn't want to say.
No, I didn't. But hold on. I'm not saying because. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying because if you have proper nutrition, you're not gonna get sick. I never say that.
Why are you saying?
But what I'm saying is,
I thought there was alternative.
No. Here's the issue. The issue is if you're saying that people who are inoculated have a better chance of resisting a disease, but yet we have statistical data showing that those same people die from same diseases.
No, we don't have that data.
We do have that data.
You just gave us data of certain. We know.
Okay.
We know that there are times when certain people are connected.
I'm posting it. I'm Ross.
Listen, we do understand that in certain studies, some people have adverse side effects, right? We know that some people get vaccinated for some odd reason, their body don't take to it. Some people are allergic to it. We say we got peanut aversions that kill niggas more than the vaccines.
Okay, but anyway, so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you're wrong. I said there's no absolutes. All I'm saying is you are denying the notion that if a person has a proper nutrition,
I think we should do both.
Proper nutrition and supplementation with moderate exercise, that they themselves also can be resisted against infectious diseases.
There is no proof in human history, even where there wasn't a lot of processed foods, when white people running around making shit, industrial age shit. Prior to that, the whole population was getting wiped out. It's in your Bible. Read it. So you really think that I ain't trying to throw no shots.
We're not even
I'm
talking about right now.
we is. I'm talking about it. So when you talk about, hold on. No, when you talk about the plagues and all that stuff, in Egypt, they got texture plague stuff. You got to know that was infectious disease. Nah, it's too many of them in the
But then go shots.
I'm saying that not unless you actually think there was something that came up the sky and made everybody sick.
Well, as we know, that when we deal with the plagues, you know, they got the thing where they go over the scientific methodology of how things chain react with one another. So it didn't just miraculously happen one thing. You know, if there's an influx of frogs, they come in, they bring in uncleanliness diseases, things of that nature. People get sick. You know what I mean? So of course, yeah, people got sick. Plagues came. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, problems are natural, right? Naturally occurring problems came.
But so then at the same time, okay,
that's all I have to say. No, that's all I have to say.
He just don't want to keep getting beat up. So look, watch this. So I'm gonna wrap up with this, right? Transition. You know, sometimes you get beat up. Like, hold on, bro. Fight him, You need somebody fight him, bro.
Give me a breather.
That's like a tag team, right? WWE. So y'all, you fight him now, fight him now. But
see, that's the Hebrew thing they doing right now.
So look,
don't be dismayed.
So you see, Sinetta he didn't went all out.
Sinetta, he's playing chess, man. You know he's playing chess.
He's good. No, I'm saying you're not paying attention to the discussion, so you can't ask no
pay attention
questions.
when I start the editing. When I,
Exactly.
Because Ankh is getting beat up, man. Don't cut nothing out. Don't cut anything out, please.
Lie like that. You know, damn well I ain't getting beat up. He's been playing.
He's gonna have a lot of flack from the conscious community. I read those comments, bro. When you
but I'm not mad.
They're not saying you're wrong. They just, you know, in the conscious
no,
community,
they just
we have a no.
They be dumb as hell on shit.
Don't disrespect them.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
not dumb.
that.
So look. No, this
Black
is
people
different
the same way about the dumb word and ignorant word, yo. So hold on. I call them dumb, they call them ignorant. It's the same shit, bro.
Yeah, we be going.
They're not listening to the educated aspect of what English is. Don't knock up now. They're not hearing that. When you say, nigga, you ignorant, then you ready to fight.
If you say you dumb, you ready to fight?
Same thing. So, no, what I'm saying, I want to say that they're ignorant to the information. They're not having this type of conversation. So you're not sitting up there saying that don't use them, do it. You're saying that we need to have better diet. All these things strictly with immunity. You're not saying just don't have vaccines.
No, I'm not saying that. No,
right, so I totally agree with you with that.
Okay. So then what are we talking about?
I don't know. You saw this shit.
No, you did.
I thought you said that. Did you say vaccines?
No, I'm saying when it comes to I'm not saying vaccines are evil.
Autism? Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
You don't do that.
I didn't. Well, I didn't.
Let me get you on record.
Nah, let's not talk about
Does vaccine cause autism? Wait. Look at him. He's staring.
Because then I got to bring out all this data to support it. I don't believe.
Bring it out.
No, listen. I don't believe.
I did.
Let me finish. I don't believe that.
Getting beat up now. You're running.
I don't believe that vaccinations is the cause of all types of autism. Autism it requires cofactors in order for it to occur.
So you believe vaccines do cause cancer?
No. What I'm saying is,
Let me say this though. I know a family friend who got an experimental vaccine while she was she had the baby, right? When she was not at birth, but while she was carrying the baby, and the baby did come out
prenatally, yeah,
right, prenatally, and the baby did come out autistic. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my own personal.
No. You're saying that there's data on that.
No, that don't count.
But
hold on, wait. You just talked about it in the beginning of the video. Just because that happened doesn't mean it had anything to do with the vaccine.
Because you gotta prove it. I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
Everybody got a family member,
of course,
and then we know that white people are disproportionately have autism than black people.
Yeah, of course.
So then why the hell we worried about it then? Wait. Why is it? Maybe that's a plague from God.
Do you believe that?
I'm just saying.
Do you believe that?
Maybe that's God's way of wiping out white people. I'm just trying to say.
You think did that?
No, I'm just saying the conscious community. Listen, I'm just saying the conscious community fight. Wait. The conscious community say the white man is the devil. They say all that. I don't say that. I don't give them that power. Let me finish. So then why the hell they worried about autism?
Because some of them have children that have autism.
So let's deal with the causes of autism for a minute to prove that vaccines did.
No, but what I'm saying, did you not just say what I said? That means we're going to be beating around the bush. I did not say that vaccination is the direct cause or the causal agent for autism. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is it can contribute to it, but it's not the cause.
No, where's that evidence? No, and I want to tell you why it doesn't contribute to it. Can I get my point? Because autism occurs in the womb and the fetus during the developmental stages. Hold on. Man, it's like you can't.
I didn't say nothing.
You focus on y'all for a moment. Let me talk. Just
Okay, let me pray.
Meditate. Come on, do your prayers, right? Get your levy thread, son. Relax.
Yeah. I'm gonna touch my
simply
RBT.
saying that they use CAT scans.
My RBT.
They use MRIs, serial MRIs, right? And what they found out is that when they're looking at the fetus in the womb, they're looking at the development of the brain. They're studying the gray matter, and they know there's a distinct difference. You can even put up online between a healthy fetus, right, that later on won't form autism, and a fetus that later on will form autism. And
the same thing like Down syndrome.
And the gray matter. And guess what? Thank you for saying that. And now the spectrum of autism has opened up, and now they're adding that into autism, right? So people say the numbers are going up. No, the diagnosis of it is going up. They're adding more things to the spectrum of autism. That's why the numbers are climbing. So by the time you get vaccinated, right, they're already, they have identified 99 genes in autism now. So now they know the genes is actually causing it. This is all before any vaccines are introduced in the body. The problem is that by the time you're given that full payload of vaccinations is around the time, right, when autism starts to actually show itself. It's been there, right? Since most people aren't scientists, don't know none of this, right? All they know is by the time I gave my babies the vaccines, all of a sudden they started, developing these things. But we talked about it. It had absolutely nothing to do with the vaccines. It's just that is the time period, 15 months in, right, when you start getting your vaccinations, right, that particular autism starts to show itself. It just coincides. It has nothing to do with that. That's my point.
Gotcha. And I'm not gonna beat you up, but we just talking. You know what I'm saying? We just and what I'm saying is now look. What I'm saying is these are more conversations that we need to have in our community with verifiable and validated data, right? Things that are in vivo and things that are in vitro, right? So in vitro you do it in a lab, in vivo is actually in the real world. And that's the thing. A lot of these studies that they've done, a lot of it is in vitro, and it stops there until you do the double-blind placebo case studies that then test it in vivo, right? So what I'm saying is this, right? I'm saying that there are cofactors that are responsible for the pathology of certain diseases. A lot of times it's not one causal agent unless it's an infectious disease. When you go into cancer, they tell you there's cofactors, but there's no one causal agent in regards to that, right? So another thing that I would say to him in regards to talking about autism is also a lot of times when they get this control group is what they call them, that they do the test studies on, you don't have a lot of dispositional data on those individuals. Like you don't know what their diet was, what their supplementation was, what other trauma or other things that they may have had that can also contribute to the issues with development of the fetus prenatally. So you don't get a lot of that extraneous data when you're looking at this scientific study. So a lot of times when I peer review studies, I like to look at that additional data to see if there's a way for us to get that information and use that information to either debunk or support any claims, or I wouldn't say claims per se, but any kind of statements that we make that are unverifiable, right? So that's why I don't like to say things definitively, because you can learn something new tomorrow and be like, damn, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But let's transition away from that, because we spend a lot of time on that, but it's good. Don't cut none of this outside. Put this on record. Let people see that. But I represent one of many people.
How much you missed?
Yeah, that's the NCBI. I hit most of my
read that though. What does that say?
No, I got you. Environmental chemical exposure and autism spectrum disorders. A review of the epidemiological evidence. Got you. I'm not arguing with you.
I'm just making sure, because I know you memorize all that shit. I just wanted you to know. Because I ain't memorize all that.
Wait, hold on.
That don't mean I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
You the whole goddamn thing. Man, shit, these lights, So look, you sound like one of them Greeks over there, bro.
That's not sound like.
You know how them Greeks have all them goddamn.
I'm gonna let her finish.
What the fuck are they talking about?
What you should do is you should support Israelites that are stepping up their game in regards to health and scientific.
No, we always do.
No, because he just belittled me having knowledge on the subject matter.
No, I didn't.
When he should encourage it to say, look, more brothers in your community.
Now he crying.
Wait, nobody's crying.
All the shots.
Because you know what they do? They're gonna watch this video.
This got sold.
Listen, no. They're gonna watch this video and be like, you see, Divine shouldn't be an Israelite because Divine too smart to be an Israelite.
That's right,
Nothing
Divine.
to do with that. You see this? And he's gonna say, I know he's gonna say something like that.
You triggered it.
But what I'm saying is, one thing that I will say is, because we're having this build,
right,
I'm saying, how many other people who are health gurus in the community can actually do what you want?
Health gurus.
No, they always on some half shit. No, so you got me again with that shit.
And that's an issue that I have, because I know.
See, the Israelites more intelligent than half of the.
No. But we do have it. I'm just saying, I represent people in our community. What I'm saying, I'm not the only person that knows stuff. I represent that margin that's not getting the exposure. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying them. I represent them. They can get a vicarious victory through me, but I want to put them on the floor. Matter of fact, Maccabee CD, hold on. Shout out to Maccabee CD, my brother Priest Anya Allah.
That's right.
They have a sister channel with the sisters. Because you know they talking about, y'all suppress the sisters. The sisters are talking about health and put it in work. Wait, hold on. No, we're not misogynists.
Are you sure?
Some of them are.
Is God a woman or man?
Conscious community, some of y'all are spitting misogynists too.
But you know that's all in the Bible though.
You see, now I want to transition into that.
Now watch this, Divine. It depends on what you define as chauvinism.
And misogyny and chauvinism are two different things.
Is it feminist chauvinism or what? That's
chauvinism and misogyny are two different things. And that's the same thing. Misogyny comes from the Greek word misos, which means to hate. Genie, which you get like gynecology, which means woman. Hatred of women. That's what that means. Chauvinism, hold on. Chauvinism, where it believes that one race is superior to the other. You crazy. That's superior. Don't say that. You're going to get him in trouble. So, you see that? Look at the respect. He picks up the phone. So don't say nothing about us. No. I gotta put it out there because y'all be trying to beat our community up, and everybody does not represent the extremists that you see in the community. So y'all gotta be more careful with it. So hold on.
One of the things we do know is that all Hebrews are not the same.
Don't say that. How many wives you got?
How many wives you had? How many wives you had?
All Hebrews are not the same. We know
that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
You see who's in the newspaper today, right? Who's in the front line of the goddamn daily news? Ahlazar.
Oh, Tanzania, ICGJC, $6 million tax.
Oh, yeah.
Front page, bro.
He got he embezzled almost $6 million for his congregation.
So we know that y'all are not that. We know that y'all are not.
The Israelites, you don't understand how
they don't look. They had $6 million.
They have more than that.
Niggas get money like that. Niggas get money. Hey, yo, sign me up, y'all. Can I get my friends? I'm just saying, can I get my friends? Hey, I got this.
Look, watch this. Put this over. Do not edit this.
That nigga said they touching $6 million.
Look, son, you gotta
hey, yo, they touching $6 million.
Look, when I was done with signing that, he put fringes on. So now you got fringes on, right?
$6 million. Y'all running around with $6 million?
Yo,
they got more than that.
A nigga take $6 million. Y'all still got bread.
We got more than that in our community. We got more than that in our community.
What the fuck is y'all doing with it?
We're doing a lot of stuff with it, but the problem is some people misappropriate the
client
stuff.
Nigga, get some help.
Y'all got get a donation. Y'all got a donation. That's not my congregation.
Israel got.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me say this. What I will say is, all right, between y'all two, I always respect y'all communities. I'm not just saying it because I'm outnumbered at this point. I am fucking outnumbered. What I will say is though, y'all know, y'all have had conversations. What we've been having this stuff for 10 years, bro.
At least 5 years.
It's a little bit longer than that. You came at the crazy.
Yeah, I came in like 2013, 2014.
I'm like, that ain't it. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first person that jumped on my presentation when I made it on sign up. First person. He's like, damn, this Israelite got knowledge. I got a testimony that all up. I'm like, yo.
So, but I'm talking to everybody. But I got to give it to y'all. It's just. I like the way y'all just up the fucking level. That way you're giving your brothers a better understanding of what's really going on. And I always felt like that's important. Y'all not denying science, right? Y'all got your cultural ways. Y'all not being stuck in 2000 BCE. Y'all recognize that y'all got to bring forward things, add things to it. There's nothing wrong with the culture of doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to read more than just the Bible.
No, they don't.
Right. When I was coming up as a little boy, all they said, all I need is the Bible. I don't need nothing else.
That's not them, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's saying you got to do that.
Back then,
they said you didn't need to read anything else. That's
all they wanted was the Bible. They didn't want nothing else. But now, today, these brothers, they doing PowerPoint lectures. They going and getting books. But one thing y'all ain't doing yet, I know you probably did, and I know Zion is doing it, going to the museum.
Yeah, we got done that several times.
Yeah, the museum kick you. But let me just finish my point. Let me finish my point. I'm just saying, so the brothers, this is going out to everybody, so they can just, I'm saying it, that, I appreciate y'all for just being open to grow. Yeah. And so other communities got to do the same thing. The African American, Egyptian community, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got to get more open because at the end of the day, we're going to have to fight together.
What I want to say is this. One thing that you haven't mentioned in
the museum, do kill y'all, though?
Not at all.
A little bit. Slightly.
Not at all. It depends on what your position is. It's not going to kill me, right? But let's do this. No, it's not. So look, not at all. Not at all. So look, what what I'm going to say is this.
You understand God hit
The
all
reason,
artifacts.
the reason why, that's not true. So the reason why, I bring that up all the time. What are you talking about? I got a 2,000 page PowerPoint with all artifacts dealing with this Israelite. I only get 350 slides. I didn't get to finish that presentation. It's 4 parts. What are you talking about? I got it right here if you want it.
You know
so look.
2,000 slides
archaeology. So look, let me finish. And all my citations is PhD scholars that are active in the field, and their works are the ones that's at the forefront. That's the only people I choose. So look, watch this. What I'm going to say is this. The name of my health program is called Naturopathy Eden. Why did I name it that? One thing that I learned from coming into this conscious community is if I'm going to put forth my particular disposition as being an Israelite, I have to be able to extract something from my culture, a principle from my culture, to apply it in modern day times to yield results. So in our culture, we have something called Eden, right? Or Gan, the Garden of Eden, right? And Eden is supposed to represent the perfect state of man. So the objective of this Naturopathic Health Consultation Program is to get people back into that perfect state of health, so that way they can enjoy life as much as possible the way it was intended by the Creator. So this is me looking into my culture, extracting a principle from my culture, creating a service or a program from it that is going to resolve issues that are in the community that people are suffering from. And what I do before I do anything is when I give my presentation is always a disclaimer. And now the problem, I'll read it. This presentation is for educational purposes only. The presenter is a naturopathic researcher and not a physician. If you are suffering from severe atopic dermatitis eczema reactions, you should consult your doctor and or dermatologist immediately. No solutions suggested are being promoted to directly treat or cure any disease and are recommendations, not prescriptions.
Can I translate that?
So wait.
When all else fail, go to the white book.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Go to the doctor.
Exactly. That's what I'm not paying attention. So,
absolutely respect Iggy as a real
look at
that's what we want to know. As a doctor, we want to know.
Come on, man.
Because he's Dr. Inky, not Minister Inky.
He's scared of Iggy.
Wait, his name is Dr. Inky now?
He's Dr. Inky now.
He got a degree?
Dr. Inky.
He got a degree?
From the Cracker Jack box. Shit,
Y'all don't leave it alone.
Y'all
ain't with no damn school. Man, Inky ain't with no damn school.
So I'm going to say this. So what I'm saying is, I had issues with Inky in the past. We sorted it out. We cool, right? Some of his information is good. Some of his information. Wait, hold on.
When he sitting in
McDonald's? No.
Eating French fries and burgers, talking about he a damn vegan.
They said that was set up, right?
Then he gonna lie there like he set it up. Maybe he eating French fries like he ain't had, like, you know how you relapse and shit.
He relapse. Fries was
He was eating the fries like poop.
Yo, he relapsed. He relapsed.
No, I know, but you know.
All that fruit and shit he had for years, that nigga looked around, see was anybody outside McDonald's.
Yo.
That nigga did that, yo.
Okay, so we're gonna sidestep that for a second, right?
It's the truth.
Wait, hold on. So what I'm gonna say is, you asked me what my position on Inky. What I'm saying is, Inky puts out some good information, but hold on. But there's some information he puts out that has not been verified and or validated, and that's what I have a problem with. If Inky would be willing to take his data and do one of those double-blind placebo case studies on it, not just on his data, but peer review his methodology, then I would give him more credence and behind his work. But when we have people in our community that is not honest enough to do what I did, that doesn't mean what I'm showing you here is not going to work. But at the same time, because I'm not a physician, I'm not degreed, I cannot practice medicine, I have to put this out to be honest to the community. And if I provide information as a secondary researcher, I have to go to the primary research from experts in the field in regards to what they present in regards to the information.
When we don't have legal advice, right?
Exactly.
This is not legal advice. This is not legal advice.
Exactly. So when we don't have, hold on, exactly. So we talking. The reason why I do that is because I adhere to the cultural values of my community.
That's right.
And one of the things is I cannot lie to somebody. And if I do, something is wrong with me. So if I'm going to sit here and present all this information as if I originated the information, I started the information, you're going to come to me with the information, and I know that that's deception, I'm not going to come out and do that to the community.
He's lying for money. Let's just call it what it is. Not all that.
Okay, all right. I see what you're saying.
No, it's the truth.
So you're going to say that for everybody else. You're going to throw Polite under the bus too?
I ain't going to throw Polite under the bus.
Why not? Has he done that with his health studies?
I don't know.
And you know he followed under Dr. Sebi initially, and he was cured from diabetes. So
and I don't believe that.
Okay, so
wait, I believe that.
So lying for money?
And he don't get no money by saying he cured for diabetes.
But you know he
don't get no money for that.
It puts credence to his character.
All right. So I say that to say one thing that I'm saying that people have to respect our community for is that because we are beholden to our cultural precepts, to be honest, we have to do things like that. And when we don't, that's when we get on each other. So when you're talking about Tazaziak, in regards to him embezzling money. You think Israelites were supporting that?
No.
No. We didn't say, oh, the white man got him. No, his camp might. But we say, listen, what are you doing with all that money? But yet there's people in your community that's still suffering from things.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
Nobody.
On 125th Street, he's doing that. Right in Harlem. 6 M's.
It's the old out shop.
More than 6 M's. They only took 6 M's.
He's one of all the other ones.
Exactly. Out shop the spot. Out shop that used to be right there.
1941 Madison. That's it, Madison.
So I'm saying this to say not to beat up on anybody, but we're being honest with the information. I want to transition to another topic of discussion in regards to the video that I saw with the debate that you're having with the Black Christian community. That's the woke church, right? So
it's the woke church. It's the woke church.
That's what they call it. The movement is called the woke church.
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
You see my Ahlazar, come here real quick.
Dr. Eric Mason, let's go.
My young man, real quick. Now listen. This is my young man, right? Ahlazar Karab, he's 20 years old, right? Young scholar, right? So listen, this young brother, right?
Smart.
This young brother, we talking about one of the top, the leader of the woke church, Dr. Eric Mason, had a bachelor's degree. The year this man was born, he got his bachelor's.
Wow.
This brother was set up a camp across the street from the church he was at, and within 20 minutes, decimated this man, made him run away scared. One of these same dudes is he going to be a part of that debate?
He's going to be part of the debate.
He's going to be a part of that debate. This young 20-year-old brother destroyed this man. I just want that on the record. Y'all can go to our YouTube channel and check that out. He did check Dr. Eric Mason of Epiphany Church, Philadelphia. And listen, this man, and he's been running scared ever since. I'm talking about this dude.
Oh, man.
Has been ever since, man. This 20 years old, man. You good.
I'm going to have you call him right now.
Call him. Bring him up. Bring him up. Let the young man go. I'm telling you, he's going to tear him up.
He ain't ready?
Listen.
None of them were. Jabari and Garfield was there. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. This is good. Look at this. This is my position on this, right? I was caught in between two different, like a rock and a hard place. I said, should I support the conscious Christian, right? Or should I support the conscious community, right? I had to sit there and think about it. I said, which one whose ego is the most highest, and which one are black folks are more? What am you laughing like that? And which one's a conundrum, man? And which ones? Which community has the biggest effect on the black community, right? So when I saw this, I was like, you know what? Even though I don't have any dog in the fight, I want to make sure that the scales are even. That's called it, right? The scales are even, right? So when Sinetta was telling me about the debate initially, I know Brother Berean. I've interacted with him a couple of times. I subscribed to his channel. I hit Sinetta up. I'm like, yo, Sinetta, I called you on the phone. I was like, yo, there's a couple brothers that I know. They real good. Yo, you should get them. He was one of them. He sat down with Jabari, and mind you, I have respect for Brother Berean, but yo, that was not a good look, bro. And you know why? Because it's Christians, woke Christians, that be telling Israelites, like, oh, y'all don't know what you're talking about, but we get in the ring and we have builds with the conscious community, so we know the angles they're gonna come out of us with. The woke church, they talk about this stuff, but we never see anything on camera with them interfacing with y'all. So I'm gonna say this, because I don't have a dog in the fight, my opinion is objective. I don't think the black church is going to be ready for this. But it depends on the angle you take. What angle are they going to take? Now, what was the question, Sam, for the debate? What was the question for the debate?
There's a few of them.
Do you remember any of them?
One of them about the Bible.
Christianity, white man.
About misogyny? That was one of the questions.
Christianity from the white man. Is the Bible from the white man?
Okay, that's one. What's the second one? Misogyny is the one Jabari said, right?
No.
Oh, that was just for that discussion?
Yeah, that was just for that
discussion. Oh, okay, never mind.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Build on that.
Sir, was you with Keller when he debated that black pastor?
No.
That was before you?
Yeah, that was before.
See, I'm going to be honest with you. That was a time where, not the whole debate, but there was one topic, and that was before Khaled started to embrace the Bible, was on if it was the white man now I'm giving Jules, everybody go. He did good, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Brothers, be ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to tell Uncle them. Y'all sleeping on this dude.
Listen, I don't know if, now you probably know this.
No, I'm just saying, we talking about the Underworld Squad.
No, we just talking about the Underworld.
We hired gunslingers. Let's get this straight.
Assault gonna be there?
Yeah. We hired gunslingers.
Wait
a minute. We all know this.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is.
No. Let's get this straight.
Okay, I'm going to let you go.
You know who we are.
Listen, we know.
We the motherfucker
What
Amino
I'm
Acids.
saying is this. The problem is you don't
Y'all
have...
know who we are.
Hold on, listen to this. If you're going to make this about a war of attrition, you're going to lose.
War of
They have,
attrition?
yes, meaning that they have more resources and more bodies to
Exhaustion.
throw at the conscious community that if you all went back and forth, you all will ultimately leave because you don't have the resources and the manpower to go against
Yo,
the
Kevin
church.
Durant say,
You know, send me that video with him and Eric.
Oh, yeah.
When you get time.
Oh, yeah.
You know who we are.
So wait,
All you
so,
gotta do is YouTube Eric Mason's the first
he's
video.
there. So what I'm saying is this. Yes, y'all have that
I'm gonna
information.
send it.
I'm a raw squad.
But the problem is that when it comes to accreditations, y'all don't share the same accreditations as those
I'm a
black
raw squad, man. Y'all know
some
who
of them
we
have
are.
double and triple degrees
Hey.
and things such as West African spirituality
Hey, they
and
know who
science.
we are.
Wait, hold on, and science.
We're not a raw
Listen to
squad.
what I'm saying. Okay, let me show you what the problem is, right? The problem is when people get arrogant and they believe because somebody has a religion that they're stupid. And I'm not saying y'all do that. I'm saying, listen to this. Wait, listen to this. Most people who are doctors, lawyers, people who are historians are Christians. So wait, let me finish what I'm saying. Hold on. So the problem, what I'm saying is, depending upon the subject matter, if it's in favor for y'all, then y'all have a chance.
No, we
But if
didn't
it's
use
open,
all the questions. We did
but y'all not
the
taking those questions. Y'all asking questions to them. They got to defend it.
No. They actually gave us a question. They trying to set us up. They want to do all this shit in their favor. Let them do all that. Because we the Amino Acids squad, man.
That's still arrogance. You see
That's
that?
we're not
According
arrogant.
to my culture, I gotta resist that because
we don't
that's
have
the
to
issue,
resist that.
bro. Because they're gonna slip in and hit you with something
Listen.
and knock you out.
Listen. Come on, man.
Don't underestimate them. I'm just telling you.
man.
Now I'm gonna say this, right? And in what he's saying, right?
Come on.
I know just from a
Christians.
a previous.
Bro.
Listen,
Let me get this straight. No, let's stop this. Christians.
Yes.
That ain't even fucking Israelites.
Yes.
We talking about Christians.
Yes, bro.
we talking about practice.
New
We
Testament.
talking about practice.
Kohen Greek.
Depends on the subject.
Kohen Greek.
Cohen is Greek. Yes.
Greeks.
Yes, but they're not all Greeks though. Some of them are.
Dude,
Some of them practice
say-
African spiritual. You've been to church, the
Listen.
Sankofa church out here?
Listen what I'm trying to tell you.
You're not
I
listening to
bring
me.
a text.
Wait, hold on.
Listen, hold on.
Have you been to the Sankofa church out here?
Listen.
But no, I
Divine.
read you. You got to bring the text, brother.
Divine. Right? If your text is in Kohen Greek, don't talk to me. It's got to at least be in fucking Hebrew, bro.
Did Herodotus capture some Egyptian history that people still go to for information?
Bro, we're talking about
Yes
their
or no?
divine
No.
inspired text.
Okay.
Cut it out.
Okay, gotcha. But I'm
Two different things,
saying this
divine.
for a reason. I'm saying
Divine. Jesus does not walk on water, bro.
If they prove that,
People do
y'all
not
gotta
die
get out
and
the
come back to life, bro.
If they prove that, y'all gotta get out the
Bro,
conscious
people
community.
do not die and come back to life.
Is that what you
I've
brought
heard
that
that,
about?
bro. I heard that.
Right. Do not play with me. I'm not going to do the running.
Gorilla, you believe that too?
What?
That Jesus
Died and came back to life.
Most certainly.
What?
Yes. Okay, wait, hold on. All right.
Come on,
So
Gorilla.
look,
God,
is
hold
that
on,
one of the
hold on, real quick.
questions? Is that one of the
Hold
questions?
on, on the island Hispaniola, right, where both our fathers come
He about to
back.
rock.
Hey,
yeah, we about to
niggas
give
die
you that
and come back to
He about to
life
give you that
all the time, bro.
Yo,
No,
this
but how-
is that profession.
But listen,
People
how
back to
long
the
has
dead.
Jesus been dead?
72 hours about. 3 days. That's what I mean.
Yeah, 3 days.
Of course. I
So you
believe
denying
that.
African
But no, but
spirituality?
listen.
I don't
But does
I'm
that
gonna
happen
tell you
all the
six tribes
time?
that do, and we
Of
have a
course, that's
record
part
of
of the
them actually
miracle
making
of
those
it.
claims.
I don't care about
Look at him.
So you really believe that though?
Yeah, I believe other people came back from the dead too.
You put it
Yeah,
on
hold on,
record.
hold on.
You put that on record.
Wait, hold on.
Because these same claims are
No,
made in
did you
other
hear what he
cultures.
just said?
These same claims are
Did
made
you
in
hear
other
what you just
cultures.
said? There are people in the New Testament that actually brought people back to life from the dead.
Old Testament too.
Which chapter
So
is the same
hold
thing?
on.
And
So
that's-
you can go to Paul, right? He preaching. He must have been a born-ass damn preacher. Dude fell out the window and died. Remember that?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, look, that's Cody, man. I didn't even remember that.
Right?
Let's go.
Paul walks down there and resurrects him. So resurrection, right, is not the most spectacular thing in the Bible. The Christians think it is, but it's not.
Cause see, I do.
You can go on voodoo tradition when they bring people back.
You
No,
didn't
yeah, that's
even
what
say
I'm
I'm about
talking
to give you the
about.
record. I
Okay,
have
right, you don't
that.
gotta give me the record. I'm
Do you
saying,
believe that? Yes or no?
I am
Are they
saying,
lying?
I am saying it's part of folklore and mythology.
Bring this up.
It's part of folklore
So the
and
cases
mythology.
in which
Human beings don't.
Do it, man.
You only got to fly. Let them know.
you see what I'm playing chess with them. Wait, hold on. They gotta use that on them. Do we have? Wait. Look at this. Do we have any records?
I know they coming back.
Wait.
I said people do not die in Quebec. Once you're dead, you're dead.
But Divine trying to
part
get
of
you
that order.
voodoo they do.
So,
He trying to get you.
do we have any
part of a ritual?
Do we have any records in ancient Kemet of people coming back from the dead?
I don't know.
Okay.
But if we do, we know it's not.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
I do not know. I do not profess to read every fucking.
I'm trying to help the woke church now.
What
All right,
I'm
look.
saying, listen, what I'm saying is, it's mythology and folk. It's a teaching tool to elevate your consciousness to a level which was dead. That's what it has to be talking about. That
I see what you're saying.
human beings do not die and come back to life. It's part of the natural order.
So
of
if somebody's
things.
clinically dead and they come back to life, is that
Man,
Half-ass dead?
listen, once your
Clinically
brain,
dead.
listen, you have a certain amount of time. Once your brain dies, they can put you on machines and monitors,
Vegetation, right?
right? And you're actually, it's the machine that's keeping you living, but your
Brain
brain
dead.
becomes a fucking vegetable, bro.
But there's some.
We talking about dying.
Okay.
Brain dead.
So you mean like
No more.
for like a
I'm
couple of
talking
days,
about
like 3 days,
gone.
3 days.
And 3 days rising on the third
Coming
day, which sure as hell wouldn't be Sunday.
Okay, well,
For the record, for the record.
Put the goddamn
I did
record.
a video on
For the
it.
3 days
church.
from
For the
Friday,
church.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Friday
Sunday.
to motherfucking Sunday is not
So,
3 days.
let me ask you a question.
The first day of the week is Sunday.
Yeah, according to the Julian calendar used at that
So
time.
what the hell are we talking about?
So wait,
No,
so-
it's according to the Hebrews.
Let me ask you a question. In what area would they have the advantage of you on? I'm saying resources and manpower because you're sleeping on the amount of resource and manpower that they have and the things they can bring out. In
What
your
can they
tradition.
listen? I know what Christianity is and what it is not, brother.
Don't be arrogant,
Brother, listen.
Yo, you see this guy? And
Man,
if
I'm not being
you lose,
arrogant. No.
if you lose, we gotta get you out
Lose
the community.
how?
Because if he
How
beat,
you lose?
I mean, you don't lose. Listen, you gotta get out the community.
Listen, how do you lose? It's just
It
Christianity.
depends on the subject matter.
It don't matter. It's not a first of all.
Does it have to do with liberation of the black community?
Listen. Who denies the fact? No,
Does the
listen.
conscious community liberate more blacks, or does the woke black church do?
Listen.
Historically
Black people. Listen. These brothers in the room have conversations with other people.
Mhm.
They wake them up. It has nothing to do with your religion. It has all to do with your intellect and your knowledge of understanding who and what you are. Your religion is the extra piece you bring to it, bro. Muslims, all that shit, we predate all the religions we subscribe to.
Who's we?
All of us.
Oh, okay.
All of us.
Humanity.
Black folks.
Humanity predates
Okay.
being a goddamn Egyptian.
Okay, I got you.
All of that.
We got you.
And we was thinking before we had any of those little religions that we
think
know
they're
of
gonna
right
disagree
now.
with that? They're not gonna disagree.
Okay,
That's
so
like that
don't
anymore.
say it was the Christianity, because the Christianity really was the key mechanism in enslaving black people.
So wait.
That's a fact.
So is that what you're arguing?
No, I'm saying that's a fact and nobody can deny that.
But what are you arguing then? What's the topic that you're arguing?
He knows the questions.
Just give me one, and I'm gonna tell you.
Give me the
I'm gonna
questions.
tell you how they can
I
win,
don't remember all
and I'm
that.
gonna show you how they can win.
Okay,
I
go.
interface with them all the time.
Go ahead.
All right, give me the topic. What's one of the topics you said? Did the white man introduce the Bible to black people or something
Does
like that?
Christianity come from the white man? That's what they
Does
always
Christianity
say.
come from the
'Cause they
white
say
man?
They tired of us
If
saying
you
it.
say yes, you're gonna lose.
I'm not gonna lose. Because every nigga that's been enslaved in America, the only Christianity they knew was the shit that came
No,
from
but
King
that's
James.
not the subject
That
matter.
is the, hold on, I'm gonna
It's
say
did
this again.
Christianity come
I'm
from the
going
white
to say
man?
this again. The only Christianity that the kidnapped victims knew was the shit come from King James. And didn't have the shit y'all be talking about.
Okay, wait.
Cut off the shenanigans.
Wait, hold on. Let me
So
slow
where
down.
do
White people shit.
Watch, she about to get that work. So
It
wait,
was
slow down.
white
I'm
people
trying
shit.
to spar with you so you can understand that if you say that, they're gonna go before that incident and show you that it did not come from the white man. That's the
Okay,
first
where'd it
thing.
come from? Let's go.
Okay,
No,
it came from the indigenous populace that was in the province of Judea under Roman captivity. That's where the movement started at, right? So you
Where?
So
Hold on, where?
But that doesn't mean nothing. If Dr.
No, where?
Listen to what I'm saying. Just because something started somewhere does not mean that the people in power influenced it. They're the ones that made it robust, and then they took it and they moved it further because it became a state-sponsored religion. We're not talking about that. It's before that happened, right? So wait.
Hold on, don't wait.
So let me.
All these people
So
that introduced was it black people.
Okay, it was people that was indigenous to that area of Palestine. They were not white people. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If you say that, you're gonna lose. Don't say that. Don't say Christianity started with the white man. Do not say that. You're gonna lose if you say that.
Divine.
See,
He's
but
still got- he's not
what you're saying though, is right. What you're saying.
We are West African people, no matter what a nigga say.
That-
But
Let
they're
me
gonna go
finish.
before
Let
that.
me
They're gonna
finish.
go before that.
There is no West African start Christianity
I
divine.
agree, but
All these Negroes are goddamn West African. Cut out the fucking shenanigans.
No, exactly. But listen.
Cut it out.
Well, what you have to say is this though. going to your point, because your point is right, as long as we say the white man introduced Christianity. Not where does Christianity come from, not the origin,
and
but who introduced it.
Who formed the King James Bible? Was it the Palestinian indigenous culture? Or was it King James?
But now you're going into the Bible.
No, that's the
Bible.
That's not the point.
Deal with the doctrine. Deal with you got to deal with the doctrine.
He's not listening to
us.
The
King James doctrine is the only. Listen,
you know the Geneva Bible was over here before the King James Bible.
Listen to what I'm trying to say.
You know, also there was 3 different Bibles over here before the King James Bible came over here.
That's not what I'm saying.
So
I am telling you that we was read the King James Bible.
You have the
we talk about
the one
the slave one.
Right?
The slave
you got the slave Bible.
You know, the slave Bible, Negro Bible. That's different than the full King James Bible that we got today.
So now it's a Negro Bible.
No, but have you seen it though?
Listen, so slave Bible.
No, that's not what we're saying.
There was literally a copy of the King James version.
Listen,
it only has certain verses.
Let him finish.
I know that right.
So then why?
And who wrote that?
So wait, if the white man wrote the Bible, then why is he taking pieces out that can cause the slaves to revolt against him?
Well, like Nat Turner. That's what I'm saying. Don't go to the listen.
We're trying to help you here. We're trying to help you.
Don't go to the
First of all, I ain't no dummy.
No, of course not. I know that.
So I ain't gonna sit here and give out the shit anyway. So we're just gonna sit here and play the game. Let's get all that straight. Call me God, because nigga, mother ain't born no motherfucker. That's what I'm doing.
You gotta be a chess player around Sinetta. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're not, you gotta pick it up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just all I'm saying is this: please don't go in there being cocky, being arrogant.
Have I ever been that way?
Yes, but
I've never.
Yes, you have.
We ain't never lost, and I don't suspect we're gonna lose by a bunch of Christians. I don't suspect that happening.
And you never know.
You never know.
I'm not suspecting that.
But what I'm saying
is, David don't not underestimate that.
That's why I say I know I need
to. David be Goliath. Come on.
But hold on.
I'm just doing it.
So all I'm saying is,
all I'm saying. What did I say on something letter? I said, don't send me in there with a half-baked fucking team. I said, let me bring the motherfucking team.
With the whole squad.
Let me bring the fucking team.
But they got all PhD stuff on this.
What that mean?
And they major in African, West African.
Now we're worried about the PhD.
I'm telling you what they coming in there with.
We're worried about the PhD. Let's get
yes, because they have more credence in what they say than you will when people watch the tape.
That is appeal to authority right there.
That's not okay. That's
you can have a PhD.
Wait.
So we got PhDs too.
So I didn't say you did, but you got more than them. So let me finish what I'm saying. You cannot win when it comes to resources. And man, I'm just trying to tell you, they can pull somebody. Hey. Wait, hold on. They can pull an expert from any field they want because they got the resources behind to do that. Y'all don't got those resources and on manpower.
Hey man, when you go to Harvard and Yale, go to theology school.
And on economics.
I'm gonna say this. Hey man, let's get this straight. When you go to theology school in Harvard and Yale, they do not say the first Christians are fucking African. Let's get all that straight. And I'm in the conversation.
I'm not gonna.
So they ain't gonna pull
no, they say they're not white though.
There you go. They'll tell you they're not white. They don't agree that they're white either. That's what
agrees to that.
There's people that promote.
They live in zone 2, don't they?
Another question.
You from Atlanta? You saying zone 2? You mad?
You know what zone 2 is?
Another question that they're giving you is the Bible plagiarized from Africa? You know how we've been saying.
Y'all doing that again?
No, that's what they want to do that.
You know why? Because they made videos on that.
Yeah, they see that's what I'm saying. That's old. We already know that's an old thing.
That's not us.
Yes, it is, y'all.
Hey, look, who's gonna walk in?
So all y'all in the same boat.
Are they gonna try to walk in and do like our man did and come with the outrageous title, "Is God a woman?" All right. The fool that walked in the debate and said, "Is God a woman?" That is what we call a virtual forfeiture. You know what I'm saying? So they should. We gotta. I mean, I hope that the thing about debates is, and what I've learned from coming up in this community, the title is everything.
Exactly.
And we're gonna have to stick to that subject matter. You can tell me whatever you want, motherfucker. I'm sticking to the subject matter. And that's how I'm gonna kill you. Because I'm talking about what we here to talk about.
If the debate is, did the white man create Christianity, you're gonna lose. If that's the question, you're gonna lose.
So did the West African topics? Wait. Did the West African create Christianity?
No.
Thank you. Luke was bringing out DNA.
But that's not the question.
No, so why are we fucking arguing over that then?
Because
what are the other questions?
That's what I'm saying.
I want to know what the other questions.
Do you have the other question?
No, I don't have.
You said red.
So here's the next question, right? So the next question is this. Let me ask you a question. Is polygyny misogynistic?
You having more than one wife.
Yeah, is that misogynistic? Or is that a form of male
You
chauvinism?
would have to ask a woman that.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. And I don't got more than one wife. Shit, I
You
gotta get in the fight for that.
You ain't living in Egypt
Shit, I gotta get in
and
the
you
fight
ain't
for that
been into
shit.
the Pleistocene age, but you can talk about people that's been in the Stone Age and the tools of the day.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. A woman would have to say, I don't know. A
You
man can't
you think
define
it
that
could
for
be
a
or
woman.
could not be?
I'm just
before
asking
you
a
went?
question.
Depending.
I don't know.
Sanada, do you believe
I don't know.
that polygyny
Not
is
sure.
misogynistic? No, he says no. Okay.
It is kind of male oriented towards the man.
Okay,
very
wait.
oriented.
It's a little bit there, a little bit there,
Yeah,
bro.
the reason why I'm
It's
asking
male
is
centric.
watch,
It is male centric.
watch how
We don't want them to have two husbands.
watch how intelligent. Yeah, that's something different. So watch.
See, look at him, see?
But you know, some cultures do that.
Right.
Like in indigenous Igbo culture, women married women, and they did that because
You gotta
no,
you better get that right.
no,
Get
no,
that right.
no. I disprove that.
No, but it's not for the same things.
Exactly, but that's what I'm trying to say. So wait, exactly. Wait.
That's what I said.
So what I'm saying is, if polygyny is a form of misogyny, or if it's
Yo,
male
having
chauvinist,
more than one wife
the-
misogynistic? Well, I said no.
Of course, he don't believe it.
Well, I said no.
so how is it beneficial to the woman?
I'm speaking to DivineProspect and Gorilla Hebrew.
Is polyandry pro woman?
Misandries. That's it.
Well,
Misandries.
misandry is hitting men, but I'm saying
Okay.
it's polyandry. That means women that has more than one husband.
Yes.
Is that pro women? Is that something that we should see in a culture that supports women?
I mean, it's cultural. It's a culture.
But would you believe that is pro woman if a woman can have multiple husbands?
I think it's in her favor.
So if it's in their favor and it's something that would be a hallmark of a culture that supports the matrilineal side of things, then how come we don't see this manifested in most cultures that we claim support the black woman and the black woman being God? For example, in ancient Kemet, you don't see polyandry in ancient Kemet like that. That's not saying it didn't happen. It's a smaller margin, but you do see polygyny. Ramses III had a harem. And that harem
Yes, sir.
got him
Yes,
killed.
sir.
You're aware of that, right?
True.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, why would a culture... So I'm saying that because I'm trying to give you angles, because when Sanada brought up the topic of misogyny, the Christian side, when they were talking about Jabari, was not even addressed in that subject matter. If you tell me that the Bible teaches misogyny, I'm going to have an issue with that, and I'm going to tell you why I have an issue with that, right? Because a lot of people don't understand ancient and Eastern cultures. Some things were allowed, just like the rules of engagement back then is not the same as now today.
No, I get that. That's their
So-
culture.
Exactly.
So
So,
did any women write any texts?
anywhere.
The Bible.
Did they contribute? They contributed to
Because
sex.
they
It was
write.
wrong. No, because just like in ancient Kemet, most of the scribes were
Just
what, men or women?
No, you do have female.
Were they
scribes.
more? Most of the scribes, men or women?
Yes, but you do have.
Why
female
was it
scribes.
mostly men? That doesn't sound balanced to me. That's not my. Why do women not write at the same
You
rate
know
as
what?
the
Well,
men?
maybe we need to do a case study on that.
Thank you.
When
You see how honest you are?
This
This
is
is
your
why I'm
second
saying
debate
that.
with Jabari.
Say again?
When you gonna do your second debate?
I don't want to do that to Jabari. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the
What
first
happened with the
time,
first? You can't
the first
beat Jabari.
time. Yeah.
Right, come on,
Yo,
dude.
you know-
Jabari.
I beat Jabari.
No,
And there's
you
people in the
didn't.
conscious community. Hold on, there's people in the conscious community that said the same thing.
No, he didn't beat
You're not
Jabari.
paying attention, bro.
Hey, Jabari.
I'm gonna post all of those comments in
No,
this
no,
subscribe
Because
group.
look, because you know what Jabari gonna do? Jabari, he just talk like he wins so much. Everybody
He just believe he's the best, right?
He just will stop the tape and say, first off, I am a scholar.
Exactly. I am a historian.
And
So I know what I'm talking about. No,
Boom.
that's-
And then
He's
he's
trying to
over.
African
Boom.
American Egyptian priest.
Yo, you see him laughing at that now, Now, let's be real. Me and Ankh has had conversations. Ankh said I won that debate, so Ankh, don't play right now.
When
bro.
I say that,
When we had a phone conversation, you called me about that. You was like, bro, you beat Jabari. And see, look at him. He got amnesia now, right? I'm gonna tell you
Let me
why.
say this too.
I'm gonna tell you why.
And Zion
Matter of
Lex. And
fact,
Zion Lex beat Jabari
I got the
too.
text
Zion
message.
Lex beat Jabari too.
Hold on.
Damn Hebrew beat us.
Look at his face.
No.
Hold on, I got the
But
text
Zion
message.
did though. Zion gave him
I
that
got the
work.
text
And
message.
that wasn't even all
I'm
being
gonna
Hebrew
post it
though.
on my
Yo,
page
yo,
now.
yo.
So you better say you
You
don't
said
know.
Zion Lex beat Jabari too.
Zion Lex.
How come
No,
only
he's not.
Hebrews is the one that say that?
No, the point I'm saying you was right.
You know why?
As
Because
far as
he wanted-
genetic memory,
I was talking about all of that. Anthropology, migration, environmental
Yeah.
factors. I was going
No,
into that.
I
He just want to go back to the Bible. All right, so let's go back to I'm saying. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what
the story
influenced
is
that.
really
And I'm
genetic memory.
I'm telling him, I'm social memory. I'm telling him what inspired people to write that.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
No, I-
So look.
No,
And another issue that I had with him is that my first round was responding to claims that he made in the video when I didn't otherwise get a chance to respond to it. So I never had a chance to really show my presentation. If you go to my YouTube channel, Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, type in Crows on a Straw Man, watch part 1 and part 2.
Crows on a Straw Man.
Oh yeah. If that would have been on side of this platform, people would have saw that information. Jabari,
why don't you give him the video and put it up?
I just told you the video. Okay, yeah. You want to put it up, Si?
Which one?
Crows on Nah, that's not gonna be good for Jabari. He ain't gonna put it up. Jabari gonna tell me.
He's a champion. He's a champion.
Shout out to Jabari, because I don't have no issue with Jabari. I don't hate Jabari like that. I have respect for him.
What video you made?
It's called Crows on a Straw Man.
And you was going at Jabari?
That was the PowerPoint that I didn't get to show at the debate.
A dashing is not traditional Israelite. Don't do it.
That's part about Holocaust. That's part about Holocaust. That's about Holocaust. So get that correct.
Can I see that in the Bible? In the Torah?
And the Bible, the Torah's not going to show. That's not going to tell you what the Jews wear either. So what are you talking about?
So we don't know what they wore?
Wait, they wear the black hats and they wear the black jacket. That's in the Bible.
What about the yarmulkes?
You know
what about the yarmulkes?
The yarmulkes.
They don't wear yarmulkes.
Wait. So let me get back to that, right? So the only thing I'm saying in regards to Jabari, because he's one of the debaters going against the woke church. So you know Jabari is one of the debaters in this debate, right?
He ain't losing.
The date is, of course, you heard that?
You heard that?
You heard what Ankh said?
He didn't lose that overall. I think he wasn't right on the point.
And that was the bulk of the second round.
Yeah, well, you got
right. In the third round, he lost because he didn't tell us how we're gonna be liberated. He didn't give us no plan.
But
I gave a whole plan. He didn't give no plan.
So you think it's the Christians that liberated?
Jabari would be polite? Yeah. You know why I think Jabari would be polite? Not because polite's not smart, but because Jabari has better sources.
What are they going to debate? Hold on. What are they going to debate on? That's my question. What are they going to debate on?
Sound good.
Did the Almics walk over here to the Americas on foot? That was one of the polite said that. That was one of his claims he made years ago. That doesn't mean he's surprised at that now. I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, but that was the influence based on the teaching they had at that time. That's another question.
That's a no, Divine.
I don't believe they're Africans, right?
I do.
But wait. But
don't jump in.
Hold on, not just the Olmecs. But there's a reason.
But it's
not other people.
But it's listen to me. Hold on. But it's not a definitive claim, and the reason why is because of this. Watch this. Stop. Have you heard of Luzi? L-U-Z-I.
Yeah, Lucia.
The Luzi or Lucia skull.
Yeah.
So you know about Luzi, the Lucia woman, right? And she was discovered where in South America, right?
Yeah.
And when they did a craniometric analysis on her, they determined that her skull fixed the type of the Africans, indigenous Africans that initially produced the population that we have there in West Africa today. Yeah, it is how it goes. I'll pull it up for you.
Pull it up, man. It says that it was similar to the Australoids. Right?
Australoids.
Australopithecus, right?
No, just the Australoids.
Okay, keep going.
Australia. Australoids, right? African, right? And Malaysia.
So the question is, how did that get over here?
No, that's just a field.
No, but I'm asking, how did that person get over here?
No, there's tropical lymphocytes.
Yeah, you believe in Pangea?
Yes.
Okay, you know people wasn't around when Pangea was here. Right?
This is me.
Of course I know. So the question is, how did she... You're not answering my question. How did she get there?
She could have came down the coast by boat.
Where? What coast?
No, you got the
Where?
No, from up here, up Canada.
Whoa!
Region.
No, that goes against.
No, we got new shit now. No, they said it was actually boats and couldn't we probably profile them. Because what they did was they looked at the isotopes on the rocks and they realized that there was no.
Are they saying they're Mongolian?
Are you saying they're Mongolian?
No, they could end up in the southern portions and they was there long enough to get tropical lymphocytes. Like seriously.
So the Lucia woman is one, and I said that because
they got supplanted.
What country?
Was it Brazil?
South Africa. Yeah, and
somewhere in South America.
South America, and they actually got supplanted by those ones that were more more European phenotypes.
I agree.
So the darker brown ones got pushed out.
So the reason why I'm saying is. Do you believe now? You know there's people that say that Mansa Musa actually settled against America. Do you believe that?
And his brother was the king of the Aztecs. That too.
Okay, so you don't believe that, right?
No, that's just part of the folklore.
Do you believe that Phoenician ships that came over here to the Americas?
No, not at all.
Okay, you don't believe that. Do you believe? Do you believe that there was any West Africans who had built ships and sailed over here to the Americas before Europeans got over here?
No, we should at least have the same standard that we had when they tried to act like the Europeans built Egypt.
But the Africans they built.
You would have to where the boats at in West Africa first. Let's find them there first.
Why would they be there?
because
You don't have a lot of the boats over here in America.
No. But if you're saying,
no,
I know. But if you're saying that West Africans sailed to America, then you should at least have been building ships of that size. They have communities that go back 8,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
You can find Nigeria, West Africa.
What about the Egyptians?
But the Egyptians had ships.
Of course.
That was in the Mediterranean.
Can
But
any of those ships make its way over here to the Americas?
yes, I think good because the Vikings
Put
did.
that on the.
No,
Okay, wait. Say that one more time.
The Vikings sailed over to
Of course
America.
they did. Wait, so I'm saying the question I'm saying to you is this.
So it's 2019. I'm just saying, as of 2019, we haven't found evidence yet. I'm not discounting that, bro. Like, just I'm science.
So therefore, why do you believe that the almonds are not?
Because they're not. That's easy.
Now listen.
That's not enough.
Listen.
No, because you go there right now.
But then the people look like that, right?
So now
Right
you
now
have
they
your
look like
Look, my man right here, right? He's from El Salvador, right? You see what I'm saying? So his people go there, he know how the people look down. You know what I'm saying? You can't say this whole idea that these are just some fake people, that they're not really the people from here. It's really some Africans that came over here. But this is an actual person, and they look just like the stone.
You
Look,
just
you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
I'm not stealing nobody's culture. That's
Exactly.
bullshit.
That's right.
Like I'm confident in my own culture.
So you talking about
I don't need
African American scholars who have written books.
Man, you looking at the brother right there,
Wait,
dude.
hold on.
No, he right.
Wait.
Bro, can you come here for a minute, please? Can you just step over here for 1 minute?
So man, Ali eyes on. Come on, go to the camera. Go to the camera.
Look at the
Central
goddamn
America.
I love these
America.
builds
The
with.
goddamn camera. He don't look no different than us in this motherfucker.
Okay, so when I'm
And he's
saying,
not sub-Saharan African.
so all of
You
our
just lost that. We got a live human being. You're tripping there. Hold on. A live human being standing there with nose no bit thicker than mine.
And thick lips.
Look at that. All that.
So what I'm saying is all
Plus
of
the
our
Olmecs got feathers coming
Wait,
up the
wait.
fuck out. So now
so
raise them out of
all,
helmet.
so all African
Hold on, but
American scholars.
the Assyrians used to have a gear like that.
No. What? Look at the
The
Olmecs.
feathers.
They have on helmets.
Yeah, they got headpieces on.
African
All
Olmecs, they're not
Listen,
raised.
all the-
Listen, they're feathers.
all the African.
Connected to the helmets. I'm just giving you.
But I want you to put this on record. All the African American scholars
They were
who
wrong.
said, look, say it in the camera.
They were wrong.
Because the Aboriginal community is going to beat you up on this.
Or the Aboriginals are gonna be up on
You know they're going to beat you up on
Listen,
this.
I stand on the shoulders of Isle Man Circle.
But you discount that word,
No,
though.
when you stand on the shoulders of your elders, that means
You're
that
building,
when
you're
you
carrying
find that
the
they're
torch.
wrong in something, you do them injustice when you leave that shit that way.
That's right.
You see above them
You
now.
see above them. I see more than they can
You
see
see
because
more.
of certain
Right.
evidence. Look, we have DNA evidence now. You got a human being right there.
So
You feel me?
but you didn't.
Looking just like us. Just like them.
Gotcha. But you didn't discount.
Based off of where they live at.
Mhm.
So
That's
he's
why the
supposed to have
phenotypes are like
tropical
that.
lymphocytes.
Gotcha.
He's supposed to have
So
that.
wait, but you don't discount that nobody's didn't come over here and ships before Europeans, correct?
No, I'm not
Africa
discounting that.
or- Okay.
I'm just saying, but we just need the evidence. That's all. It's about what we can prove at this moment. That doesn't mean that in 2020, they don't find some shit and say, okay. But as of right now, the DNA evidence is rocking with them on that.
You know what haplogroup X being over here in the Americas?
So where does Haplogroup X come from?
It originates from what's called the Middle East area. And I had a discussion with somebody online.
We gotta pull that one up. Hold on, we gotta.
Actually,
Because I think
The
The brother.
No,
hold on, wait,
Yeah.
I think X kind of way. I gotta get
X did not come from the.
Nah, I think it came.
the straight. It didn't
Nah,
come
I
from the
think it
straight.
came prior to the straight though.
Some people argue that it was
That's
brought
what I'm
over
saying.
here by Eurasians. They brought that haplogroup over here.
Yeah, but they
And-
got
and
stuck.
that's-
Hold on. Are we familiar with the flat-faced bear?
Yes. But why are you bringing?
I gotta do this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Flat-faced bear
Mm-hmm.
was about what, 12 feet?
Yes.
Ferocious,
Mm-hmm.
run faster than any grizzly bear. Humans wasn't hanging out when they was.
Facts.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
wouldn't be here.
Right, like all that shit we talking, it's like a fucking horror movie. When you stepped out, you ever seen that movie when whenever you made noise, that shit came and ate you?
Oh yeah.
Verb.
They was like that. You
Okay,
wasn't
yeah, we wrapping
fighting.
up.
You wasn't fighting against the flat-faced bear.
Because the community will allow anything at this point.
Yeah.
Anything.
And that's what we fall into because they made it to the point where we can't have this intelligent. See, we're having an intelligent conversation today. Everybody, oh, you gotta wait. We're not banging on each other gods because that's cultural expression. You know what I'm saying? We learned that through conversations, right?
Exactly.
And that everybody in this room got a right to follow and believe what they want to believe. You feel me? Like that's your right as African Americans or whatever you think you are. That's your right to pick a culture and follow that and be a part of that. As long as it helps you say the brother was in prison. and we all got these similar stories. So if you got things that help change or stop that trauma that we're going through, make you stop and pause for a minute and realize it's something more than just fucking up another nigga.
Exactly.
It's something more than
that. It's more than that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I came from Baltimore because it was like, man, how many times you gonna get shot and live, dude? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many times do you gotta keep doing what you're doing? Like at what point? You made enough money, you good, you know what I'm saying? The cycle is, I mean, you got babies now. You gotta fucking grow up. It's a certain point. You got a family now.
That makes you grow up.
That's the oldest institution.
It's the family.
It's the family. That predates any religion we want to find. You feel me? So where's that institution at in us now? The need to want to raise healthy children, void of the trauma. The need to want to raise healthy families that can support themselves and ideas and concepts. I'm not mad at you because you got a certain religion. That's not the point. We grinding. You know what I'm saying? We grinding, right? And we grind because we know we got some commonality here. We got to build on our commonalities. So far, we've been building on the shit we don't agree with, which is cool. Yeah. But you got to deal with the commonality.
We had a lot of battles, man. We had enough of the battles.
And we won. Then we won.
Yeah, we won every one. We won all the battles, man.
Don't believe that.
I ain't never seen you mad the way the Avengers battle was. Remember the Avengers?
Which one?
It was only one.
What Avengers battle?
About when we had the debate.
That one.
You're right.
You wasn't there, huh?
No, he was there. But remember, he left. He left.
Oh, yeah, they was bugging out. What do you mean?
You left.
He was there.
It was
Yeah, I was there.
He was.
No, that was Wishful Thomas.
You were there, but you left on my presentation. You was mad.
You was mad.
No. He was mad because I said, what did I say? I said something like Egypt was a civilization, right? And nobody even caught why I did that. I did it just to be an asshole because they get away with saying so much, like you said, Israel wasn't real. So I just said, look, I'm gonna just say some bullshit too. What? Right? Everybody got, people were genuinely upset that I said, bro, come on, I'm just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? But that was because we couldn't keep going though.
Right.
That's because I remember because Reggie had gave his presentation, and I know niggas wanted to get on Reggie for his presentation. And who else? It was Reggie and Jabari presented, right? And then Diala didn't get to present. That's why I was mad at that. We ain't lose that day. Come on.
But that other dude was nice though. I like Shorty, man.
Oh, the one that was gonna fight Reggie?
What's his name? Yeah.
Oh, Sha'ar. No,
Sha'ar is the one that went up against the
Nuwabians.
Yeah, the Nuwabians.
And you know he made all them garments?
Yeah.
That's that brother. He do all. Yeah, he do all.
So I'm gonna close it out. So I'll give my piece and we can pass it around. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
take an hour, yo.
At the end of the day, the real solution is autonomy, right? If we're not self-governing, then everything we do is for naught. And we cannot take in all the resources through the process of aggregationalism, which means we're not full separatists, and I don't know anybody that is unless you live off the grid, and we're not full integrationists because we don't support all the things that are being done in society. And aggregationalists goes in society and they get the resources necessary and they bring it back to their communities to build their communities. The more that we are self-governing, that we can have these dialogues about things we disagree on. When we go into the commonalities, we say, look, what kind of business plan do you have for the community? Like when I ask them about the model, what model do we have in the community that we can use and replicate so we can see the results? Because the objective is that we can allocate all the resources to just us. We can have bigger platforms and have these discussions within our community, and we can be the ones telling the narrative and not have somebody else do it. So at the end of the day with these discussions, one thing I said in that debate with Jabari is I told him, if we don't have a cultural system where we can respect each other and come to the table and have these dialogues and still build on real issues outside of it, where we can be a collective community, then we can never become autonomous. And that's the one thing that they fear is the moment we become autonomous, like every other ethnic group is, then they can't stop us.
Yeah, just in closing, man, I just want to give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only God, Son of Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. I'm glad to see my brothers, man. I ain't seen y'all since the awards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always glad to see my. I know I see Divine System.
Yeah, I see him all
you know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad to be in the building. Oh yeah. We listen. We be around. I should have went to Florida when you went too.
Oh yeah.
You know I love Miami, but
you've been ducking me ever since you came down here. You've been ducking.
I gotta talk.
Wait, what?
Yo, why don't you go to his store? You could do a lecture.
Where's your store at?
Word? You ain't invite me to do a lecture at your store. Actually, you did.
I gotta. You know what? I just gotta get you. I just gotta get you. Because I've only been like 3 weeks.
Where?
On you?
Lithonia.
Okay, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a lecture out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that'll be powerful, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I only been out here like 3 weeks, so I don't think I've been done.
Professor Griff was there.
Yeah, I know. I
Professor
seen that.
James Smalls did a lecture there.
And it's crazy.
Even Shaka came through. I was like, what the fuck? Shaka up,
Where? Oh,
yeah, man.
wow. Okay, yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
May the 5th, so make sure I look at that.
I'm coming to support.
Yeah, but what I want to do is, I got a shoe company, right? And all of us wear shoes. So I'm just trying to figure out, y'all wear boots, right?
Certainly.
Well, I mean, why support the very organism we fight against?
I got 2 pairs.
You always, I'm saying y'all got to get, you do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What other colorways you got for me?
Whatever colors you trying to get, however we need.
Put the line for Judah on it.
I'm just saying, we can design a booth for y'all. Y'all got enough members, y'all getting there.
Sure.
It don't make sense to support.
That's
You know what I'm
real
saying?
talk.
Look,
You
look,
can run your own shoes.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is
You
right
run
there.
your own business.
We realize we're being attacked by a system. Am I correct? Everybody can do that, right?
Correct.
So the question is, what is you can tell your commitment to racism, white supremacy, by looking at your shoes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Look at the clothes you wear. That's your level of commitment to racism, white supremacy. And it's economics. We keep feeding the beast that we fighting against. That's crazy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't make our own shoes. We can't go to the same place now you go to.
And we can't make our own clothes.
We go there.
If we make our own
We
clothes.
make clothes.
Yeah.
We go there. We get the shoes. We go to the same place now you go to.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you pictures. We going to the same spot where Feline making the shoes. So we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We can't get your own boots with our own signal on it. We of course we could do that. We gotta stop spending our money with the very thing we fighting against. You feel me? Like this is important. These shoes is important to me. It's a red bag and the green. Y'all fringes is important to y'all. Won't you make a high top with no fringes on it? We can figure that shit out.
That's interesting.
Y'all can take a collection, right? Build up enough money and get that. I ain't gonna let y'all get beat. I'm gonna make sure y'all get what you're supposed to get, and then that can be part of our economy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can sell boots to the brothers that's coming in. This is part of the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
We making it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? This is the type of shit where it has to be economic empowerment, right? Because check this out: if your culture does not support your food, clothing, and shelter, you do not have a culture.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of bullshit.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
So being an Israelite, if it don't produce sustainable income for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
if it doesn't give them a way to support their next fucking generation, then it ain't worth nothing. You feel me? It's always based on economics. The universe
Mm-hmm.
is economics. How do you support food, clothing, and shelter?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, God has always been nature,
Mm-hmm.
right? From nature, you learn how to support yourself. That is the foundation of all cultures. Is what?
Being self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient off of what? The
That's
resources.
the resources.
The food, the clothing, and the shelter.
Right.
And we will design a culture around food, clothing, and shelter, and resources. You know what I'm saying? And it's protection for the culture. You read in the Bible, right? I use that because that's the closest thing that a lot of people really understand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's showing you how to navigate through your resources.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling you what to do to keep resources.
Mhm.
If you follow those ways, you're going to fall prey. What it's really saying is, if you honor other people's ancestors, you know what I'm saying, then you're leaving your way.
Mm-hmm.
Your way is to
blunt.
protect
That's the
that.
blunt.
No, I already understand.
So why don't you
One of them young
close
brothers
out?
get in.
Close out, sir.
No, y'all good.
Hassan, take us out. Let him take us
Get one of them young
out.
brothers.
He do okay. Hey, listen, he do a good Sinetta impression. Watch this.
The video. Thumb up.
So with that, we want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. Sanada, you got your Cash App posted on the screen. I'm sure you're gonna have it on there.
Oh, you know
Right. Also, Sakari, go ahead, give a shout out to your social media.
Yeah, just get on YouTube. Just type in Sakari, Sicarii. Will pop up. Facebook, I'm in Facebook jail right now, so Facebook/Gorilla Hebrew, spell it like the animal gorilla, and it'll put you to my like page where I'm not in Facebook jail. You can like that. You know what I'm saying? And Exodus 17:15 on Instagram.
And look up Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, which is my YouTube channel. Just find me DivineProspect on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. I also have 2 programs that I have, which is Naturopathy Eating, which is a naturopathic health consultation program for people that have sicknesses and ailments. Hopefully I'll get to do a presentation on your channel with that. Also, we have Jubilee Manumission. The concept, again, is extracted from the culture, giving people back a Jubilee where they can be alleviated from debt. So we have a debt elimination program as well that we do. Also, my wife, she makes clothing, right? Name of her clothing line that you can look is LOL Accessories and Boutique. On top of that, she does formal wear for proms. Any kind of formal wear that you have. She does Israelite garments as well. She does garments also for people outside of that if you're trying to do a particular presentation or you have like dress up wear. We do clothing as well. So if anybody's interested in that, look up LOL Accessories and Boutique. And I'm going to give out the shout out to Sonetta for allowing us to be on his channel again. Thank you, Sonetta. Do not edit this footage. Let it play. Because they got to see the bruises on Ankh. All right?